How you doing?
Rock and roll! Coming out of the river was insane. Crazy waves, and there's like, it's pretty narrow with rock walls on either side, so the waves were huge.
So just making my second coffee there. First time actually I've used my AeroPress on the boat, because normally Alex and I both have coffee at the same time, so we used a bigger coffee. But on a more exciting note, if the wind pack picks up anytime soon, looks like we're going on our first 2-day excursion to Port Maitland with 4 other boats, I believe. So there's a few of us going. It's going to be fun. We just need a little wind to allow that to happen. We're supposed to leave in the next half hour, so it should be good. And my water's boiling, so see you later.
Super excited! It's our first 2-day trip, so it's gonna be awesome. We've got a beautiful day. I think the wind's pretty light though right now. I think Otto is not having fun right now.
Okay.
I'm telling him to go more to starboard and just like going to port. Yeah. Stand by.
Maybe there's not enough wind for Otto to do its thing. You gotta disengage. There you go.
Because yeah, we're like going more and more.
Oh yeah, starting to backfill our sails now.
I bet you I'm not gonna be able to turn because I don't have any power.
Alright.
I'm going to port for it. It's gonna jib.
That's okay. It's not enough wind, so I can just do it myself.
Auto failed. Didn't really work, so I started going more to port, and we're set up to be heading more starboard kind of tack. Sail anyways. And so the boat pretty much started doing a 360 because we didn't have any wind in the sails, so no speed to be able to turn. So I just had to start the engine.
So now we're motor sailing! Woo! For now anyway, until we get a bit more wind. Maybe we can hand steer with this amount of wind, but the flag's barely going, and that's mostly because we're moving forward. But we got a convoy. We got Martin over there. Got Mark and a couple other people over there. We're all heading to the same spot. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully the wind picks up.
Hopefully.
We're going a high-speed race of 3 knots currently on our way to Port Maitland.
We got our engine off. Oop, that's way over. There we go. We got our engine off, so now we're just under sail.
Quiet. Yeah, it's a little bit more quiet, way nicer, but we're not moving that fast.
But the sails are kind of full, and we could probably trim them better, but honestly there's not much wind to trim them to. And as you may be able to see up there, the wind instrument is not doing a whole lot. It's kind of bouncing around, not telling us. Not a really consistent wind anyway. A couple of those guys are further out that way. I think they know what they're doing being further out there. I think there's better wind. So we're slowly making our way over there. And we're neck and neck with Martin over here. We're just cruising around.
I'm trying to make some lunch down below while we're sailing, but we're on a close reach, so everything's really crooked, so I've got to hold on to stuff quite a bit. But
4.5 knots!
woo! Getting some speed!
So we're just setting up some solar panels. A friend of ours lent these to us so we can test them out. So I'm just seeing if they're going to keep up with our autopilot.
So today we really experienced a different style of sailboats because we're 5. 3 of them I think are more racer type sailboats. They're way bigger. Actually all the sailboats I think are pretty much bigger than us, like around the 40 foot.
Well, Mark's is the wood one that you'll see.
He's
in the footage.
38.
Mark?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So everyone's bigger size sailboats than us, so it goes a little faster. But there's also the cruiser style and racer style. So we're a racer cruiser type of sailboat. 3 of them are more racers, I believe. Not 100%, but they were like way ahead of us. And then there's another guy with us that has a cruiser boat, and he's way behind right now. So anyways, we're so as we're waiting for the last one to arrive, I think we're just gonna be cruising around here without too much speed, and I'll try to do a little bit of fishing. Hopefully we'll catch a supper. That'd be good, you know?
So we're gonna haul down our main here and just fly the Genoa up front. Probably even less of it because we got the entire thing out right now. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, we also were playing around with the solar, and it seems like those 2 solar panels, what are they, 30 watts each? Those are pretty much good enough to keep our fridge up and running. We may not need nearly as much solar as we thought, but we definitely need a brand new battery bank because it's one of our batteries. Oh boy, my arm's twisted. Alex says I need to be further up. One of our batteries is just a little bit, it seems like it's dying really quickly, so I think it's shot. So we're due for some new batteries anyway, so I think we're gonna replace them all at once. So let's do this, let's do some fishing.
Fishing! Trying to catch supper. So we are just outside of Port Maitland, which is about 16 nautical miles from Port Colborne. It went really well actually. Gosh, it took us 4 hours, not quite, to get here. And now while we're waiting, I'm doing a bit of fishing, enjoying a cold beer and loving life. It's awesome, like first trip, everything went smooth. We're sailing, minus Otto that just kind of failed on us at once. But it's been pretty good, it's been awesome.
And over here, that's where we're going, just beyond there. You can see one of our group members over there, Tom and Paul. I
Yeah.
think? Yeah. Great day for a sail out to Port Maitland. Now we've got, geez, what, maybe 20% of our jib out, Genoa rather, and Alex is fishing away here. Hopefully we catch something. Woo! Looking good!
Coming into Port Maitland was pretty neat. There was people fishing right off the side of the pier. Seemed like a good fishing spot. We got to go up our first river, which was quite neat. The first marina we ran into looked kind of full, so we continued upriver, following the narrow channel, making sure to keep to the middle as best we could using our navionics. And we made it to the second marina further upriver, which luckily they had some room.
We made it to Port Maitland, so we've got a slip here, paid for the night, $1.50 a foot, so it was about $56. Ouch. But anyways, it's gonna be a fun night. It's been an awesome trip so far, and going up the river was really exciting. It's like as if you're just going through, felt like I was heading into the bayous, although it's only cattail on the side and a narrow channel in the center that you've got to follow and go upstream. But everything went really well. We've got our spot, and now we're gonna go enjoy some cold beers. So still at the Marina here in Port Maitland, and we're chatting with everyone. We were 5 boats like we said, and we're having a little bit of wine. And cool story about this, people are awesome here. People are super friendly. So every Friday we go to the market in Port Colborne, and the girl that sells wine, King's Court, her father has a sailboat at the Marina. So yesterday night we were chatting and we're like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna miss the market this Friday because we're here. And the father ended up getting his daughter, and they brought us some wine at the Marina yesterday night. So they're like wine delivery. How awesome is this? Cheers.
Trying to make that sail pull the same way the whole way.
And he calls us on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, you should probably trim in your sails a little more." And it was perfect because it was just amazing how I couldn't really look at it. It should be trimmed that way, you know, like it.
Yeah, no. Your telltales your telltales are your very best indication if you can't really feel it or know. Telltales.
Like, sometimes there's a few of them that are good, and then the top one.
The bright orange and pink sunsets was lovely. It was really exciting to be at a different marina to get to experience this, especially in good company. Nice experience seeing the little boats going up the river, but as soon as the sun had set, the mosquitoes came out in full-fledged, so we ended up going to hide.
How's it going?
It's going awesome. It's morning in Port Maitland. We're on the river and we're heading back to Port Colborne today. It's supposed to be quite a bit windier, so Corey's been setting up the first reef in the main. And I think we're not going to use all of our Genoa because it's huge. It's a 150. Everyone yesterday was changing their sails because there's a bunch of racers with us. Well, that's the sails we've got, so we're playing with them. It's gonna have to do.
There's the rest of them. There's one boat that went out at 6 this morning, but that's the other guys over there.
The next morning was very different from the day before going out the river.
What's wrong? Just keep it right down the center. You're doing great.
Where there used to be fishermen, there was now crashing waves that looked pretty surfable. With the bow of the boat smashing into the water, it was quite a ride. So our boat bobbed up and down quite a bit and got thrown around a little bit, but we made it out.
How you doing?
Rock and roll! Coming out of the river was insane. Crazy waves, and there's like, it's pretty narrow with rock walls on either side, so the waves were huge. And from like all over the place, you really had to hold on to the wheel and carry on.
We got not nearly as calm of a day today. Hit my head. Woo! It's more of a adrenaline rush today, that's for sure. We got some nice big waves, well, big for us anyway. Remember, we're not on the ocean, we're just on a lake right now. Beauty. glad we got a reef in the sail. It's flying a lot better. Actually, I gotta adjust that Genoa, so we'll see you in a bit.
We wanted to be real sailors and not use our engine too much, but we ended up turning it off a little too early. So without that much of a head sail and having a reef in the mainsail, we ended up underpowered, and it was really hard to steer the boat, so we turned back on the engine, got back on course for a little longer, and made it out of the bay. We had fun testing the limits of our sailboat with 6-foot wave hitting it on its own.